Well, welcome everyone to the final round of the ACRL GTE Championship. We're here at Nordschliefe, full endurance course. Full grid today. We're expecting a lot of action. Should be a real testament to see who can survive the longest in this. With these DP cars that we're watching right now, it's going to be a very challenging race for them. For all cars in all classes, but especially for the DPs, trying to minimize their mistakes and stay alive, make it to the end of this 2-hour race. So while we wait for these guys on their first out lap, they should really only get maybe 2 good qualifying laps here today. We're going to bring up the standings and see where things land, because I know there's some very close battles, and there's a lot riding on this race for a lot of these drivers. So the driver standings by class. We have in first place in the Corvette DP, the LMP2 class, is Tuomas Tatella. I think that's how you say it. He has 216 points. He's won the last 4 races. His worst finish this season was 6th place on the second race, but everything outside of that has been either 1st or 2nd place. He's having a very strong season. He's clearly the man to beat in the final round. And his challenger, right behind him in qualifying, Rune Janssens, currently sitting 6 points behind with 210 points. He started the season with 3 wins in a row, and since then he's had a 4th place finish being his lowest, and then a 3rd and 2 2nd place finishes behind Tuomas. So it should be very interesting here to see which of these, between these 2 guys, how it's even possible for Rune to win the championship. Speaking with this driver before the race, he thought it was going to depend on winning the race, Tuomas having a 4th place or lower finish, which seems like a tall order considering how strong he's been in our previous rounds. So we'll see if Rune's able to do it, but if there is ever a track where something weird could happen and we see a DNF, it's here today. 2 hours on this, and that car is extremely taxing on anyone. So we'll see if he's going to be able to keep it together, maybe pull off a surprise and win the Drivers' Championship for the LMP2. We'll have to wait and see. In the GT2s, the middle class, going into the final race, we actually have a tie. And let's see if we can find those drivers here. Well, we already have somebody spinning off. Nordschliefe already claims 1. And one of the drivers tied. We see Duct Tape with 207 points. He's had a podium finish, 1st or 2nd, 5 out of the 7 rounds so far. His worst finish was a 5th place in the 3rd round. I'm sorry. He's coming off a win last week. We'll see if he's able to hold off Sake Lepa, who's also tied with him. These 2 are obviously, they're ready for a battle today if they're already battling in the outlap on qualifying. But Sake has he's had his 3 wins this season, 2 second place finishes. His worst finish is also 5th. These guys are very close together. So it really comes down to whoever finishes higher this race wins the GT2 Drivers' Championship. So this is definitely a battle that we're going to be keeping an eye on. This is probably going to be one of the more contested ones, just watching these two right now. But we'll see. Whoever outlasts the other gets the title. And then going down into our Cup class. In first place, we have our very own Adder, who's doing some very strange things right now. He's in first place with 185 points. He has a commanding victory over second place Matteo Pisani. These two drivers, it's worth noting, are also very close. Very close in the GT3 championship, as we saw last week at Majura Valley. Pisani's been tough to catch. He's been very, very fast in GT3. But he's in second place here. He's behind Adder by 31 points. He had a DNF, and also he didn't race in the first race. So Adder has such a commanding lead that he pretty much is here just racing for himself today. This is one for the fans, and we like to see that. He's out here having fun, and at the end of this, he'll be winning his trophy as the victor of the Lotus Evora GTC Cup Endurance Champion. So good for him. Congrats, Adder. Who knows? Maybe we'll get to watch him race a little bit today. But again, this is there's not much on the line for him, so we'll see how it goes. But by now, we should have, and we do, we have some of the front guys coming through here. Completed their outlap, so they're now in their first flying. This is going to be a very interesting race today to see. Well, we're going to be keeping an eye on, as you can see right there, Rune flashing his lights, letting the slower driver know he's going to be passing. But it is going to be very, very sketchy, as we just saw right there, and that's not even on the the main track. This is obviously the GT circuit right now that they're passing through on. But on some of those, on the north section especially, it's going to be extremely interesting to see how the prototype class is going to manage with the Cup cars. We should see them probably passing, I would think, 3 or 4 times throughout the race. Maybe more. So we're going to have to wait and see how that goes with them. It could be very sketchy. And I apologize to anyone that has fancy skins. As you can see, there's a lot of white Corvette DPs out there on the track. I don't have the hard drive space for EU. I'll be honest with you guys. Oh, and Rune borks it. That's a real shame, because that is... Oh boy. Oh boy. That is his, this is his hot lap. His first hot lap. He's really going to be tight. Really going to be tight on putting in a second one if he can make no more mistakes. Ooh, front end maybe getting a little off the ground. Hopefully he doesn't push too hard and have another one here, but that could hurt him. So we'll wait and see. A tough one for Rune, who really, in my opinion, needed to qualify ahead of Thomas, because he is so fast on this track in that car, and passing is obviously a great challenge. So we'll see if Rune can tie it up. We'll check back with him in about 5 minutes and see where he's at. But most unfortunate right now. And I just received word from our former driver turned GTR hater Petrol That lap is ruined. And that's a play, obviously, on his name. Well done, Petrol. We miss you more and more every day. We see another prototype car passing the horrific Trump-Pence Lotus. That's tidy by Megadeth. These guys are really wanting to put in a good lap here. And we're starting to see the GT2s come across now. They're all putting in their first lap. The slower cars really are they're gonna have a hard time getting in. They're really gonna have one hot lap. You got one to make it count, and that's it. And you know, the prototypes, they're obviously fast enough that they could probably squeeze two, but the rest of these guys, it's gonna be tough. This should be a very interesting race. Oh boy. This is what we're talking about. Very difficult to pass on this track. I'm not entirely sure who that is behind him. Treybuck. I'm not entirely familiar with this driver. We have quite a few new faces in this race, it's important to note, as ACRL has brought members from Redline Racing League over into our league. So they're having their debut today on a very tough track, so we'll see how they hang in there, but certainly a trial by fire here. We'll see how it goes for him. Dennis, another one, a former mod from Redline Racing League, comes over, jumping right into GT2. I've been told he's a pretty quick driver, so we'll see. But again, this track can turn even the most timid and the knee-knocking scaredy pants. Very difficult. Oh, we have... Well, he bounced back, but... As Jared Kovacs? I think that's who that was. It was. And it's funny to see that already in qualifying, as you can see, there's quite a bit of damage on most of these cars already. You can see they've been making sweet love to some of the guardrails, and we are one lap in. This truly will be a testament to who can survive. Lucas Babetto, the Italian, also driving the GT2. I suspect to race against Dennis, both former Redline Racing League mods. Happy to have him here. We'll see how the lone Italian can do today. And we should see a wild TK has appeared. The NAOG himself. We normally don't see him outside of Brands Hatch. This is quite the surprise. Driving the DP. A bit of a wild card out here. A very fast, competent driver. I'm sure he wishes that he was in a F1 car right now. We'll see if he can last the 2 hours. Let's hope he can for North America. One of the few out here today. And it appears, yes, Tomas has done his first hot lap. Ooh. Back end trying to take him for a ride. 7:32. Fastest time to beat. Runes out on his second hot lap now. We saw he had a little bit of an off-track incident, so he's got a little bit of catching up to do. Let's hope he can string one together here. Get Tomas a run for his money. And then behind him we have MK. Oh, what's this? I think we had... It looks like Tomas has gone to the pits. I'm not sure if that was an off-track incident. He should have had time to complete that second hot lap, so he must have borked it, I'm assuming, gone back to pits. Probably gonna get himself a beverage. Get mentally prepared for the 2-hour onslaught that's coming his way. And this is a perfect testament to the parity that we see on this track with how long it is. We have Megadeth here, new pro driver, by no means incompetent, very quick in GT3. And he's currently sitting about 30 seconds behind the pole. So it's going to be interesting to see who can run with Tomas. Can he hold it together for an entire race and not have any mistakes, not DNF? And it goes right down the line as such. And we have quite a few prototypes out here today. It's going to be a very interesting start. Now we are not doing a full pace lap, obviously, because we would be here all day. We're going to be starting on the back straight, I think after 11 and 12, before that. So we'll be paying close attention to that. It's going to be about a 30-second roll to that point, maybe a little bit longer, and then they're going to get going. Just at the entrance to the fun part of the track. So we'll keep an eye out for any carnage, but I would hope these guys are just going to take it easy off the start. Realize that it's a very long race. 2 hours on a track where, to be quite frank, I'm sure a lot of people are not going to be able to finish due to damage or crying at their desk because they just don't want to do it anymore. We're going to see it all here today. It appears that in the GT2 side of things, Sock Lepo 2 seconds ahead of duct tape. In the grand scheme of things, on an 8-minute lap, that is nothing. So that's going to be a very tight battle. That's going to be, hopefully, the battle to watch for most of the day today. Should be fun. And then right behind them, Laszlo Gall, 8:22. So the GT2s are shaping out to be pretty tight. We should see some pretty good battles happening there. But then looking further down the line, Waverlino, really quick. A cup car actually qualifying ahead of some of the GT2s, which is very impressive. But it's important to note that on the rolling lap, we will be bunched up by class. So even though he qualified ahead of them, he's going to be starting behind them with his class just to avoid problems off the start. But I'm sure he's going to be, with this kind of pace, he'll be finishing ahead of some of the GT2s, which is very impressive on this track. And Lotus is a pretty quick car. It's not too far off the GT2s. We saw, oh, I thought he went off. We saw some new tire versions and some things like that that's maybe slowed some of the GT2s down a little bit, but really helped the Lotus. It's just been it's been fast all season. A lot of these guys have been finishing ahead of some of the slower GT2 drivers, but it makes for very interesting battles throughout. So we'll see. Oh Oh dear. The Italian giving the Brit the business. No love lost on the final hot lap, even though they're going to be tight on finishing this. I think they will be able to finish this hot lap when time runs out. But we'll see. And here's Matteo Pisani, the very likely EU Pro-Am champion, in his Greenpeace Racing livery. This is a driver that surprised a lot of people this year. Pretty much came out of nowhere in Pro-Am. It was always a pretty fast and competent, but this season he's just been something else. It's going to be interesting to see if he wants to move up to Pro next season. I'm sure the opportunity will be coming his way. But again, it's going to be interesting to see if he wants to make that jump or not. But having a very strong season in GT3. Very impressive drives. Archer's car looks like it's been to hell and back. That Ferrari has pretty much touched every rail on the track. We see Adder behind him giving him the business. And again, this is what I was just talking about before. The Lotus can very well hold its own with these GT2 cars. Passing a little difficult. Oh. Not as much speed on the straights as the GT2s, but very agile in corners. And we say not as much speed on the straights as he passes them on the straight. Way to go, Adder. Way to make me look like an asshole. Checking back in with the NA OG TK. He's on his first hot lap, yeah. I don't have my pit lane correspondent Petro with me today, but I assume he was making last minute changes to his setup before heading out. So he hasn't had as much time on the track for qualifying as everyone else. Oh, and Rune, I just saw. Putting in a second hot lap. Looks like he kept it together the whole time. He's 4 seconds off Tomas. Not bad. That's striking distance on this track. Okay, behind them. Not by too much. Could be interesting. We should see some pretty close racing out of these guys in the start. TK opting out of the carousel. This will be interesting to see how he handles this traffic in this section of the track. Might be getting held up a little bit here. Not an easy section to pass in. Oh, he goes for it. This could be ugly. Ooh. Oh. tells Archer, excuse me, and then pays for his sins. Unfortunate for TK. Oh, it's going to be very interesting to see when these guys catch up to traffic through the section during the race, how they handle that. Oh, and that's a thing. Well, we've seen it all, ladies and gentlemen. TK will not be putting in a hot lap as his car tried to take off into outer space. I'm not entirely sure what happened. It looked like Archer was maybe slowing down to let him pass, but I don't know why you stopped in the middle of the track. That's very unusual. I'm sure TK is not too thrilled, but at the same time, he already spun on that lap, so it wasn't going to be anything remarkable. He's just going to be starting from the back of the prototypes at the start of this race. Very interesting start. Is there anyone out on track? Yeah, we still got some people going here. Huh. That's a thing. Yeah, we are coming down to the end of qualifying here. Let's see. Is it done? Are we finished? Almost. And I believe there's only, yep, one other driver. And this will not only be a long race for the drivers, but it is certainly going to be a long race for me. And he heads right for the pit line. Says, you know what? I didn't want that hot lap. Wasn't good enough. And this should be a very interesting start for me. I'll be resetting to the pits immediately, catching up with the action as they go through their rolling quote-unquote lap, which, as we earlier discussed, is very short. It'll be about 3/4 of the GT circuit before they're off. I don't know whose skin this belongs to, but it certainly isn't my car, because I am not on Brit team, nor am I British. We're gonna try something here. Let's see what happens. Nope. Well, that won't work, will it? But we will go through where we're at in quali. So with the pole, we have Tomas taking it. We'll see if anyone's able to catch him. Oh boy. And then we have Rune. I think it was 4 seconds off of him. Got blocked, held up a little bit by some of the traffic in the back. It should be interesting to see what happens. Okay. Man with Garbage. Megadeth. Saki Lepo. Duct Tape. LP69 Turbanchen. Laszlo Gall. Oscar Pink. Dennis Mark. No. Nitrax. Rolino. Matteo Pisani, Mustang SVT, another NA driver. Luca Babetto, Adder. Snooze, Serain. Asjera Kovacs, Archer, John Audi, Trebucht, TK, the astronaut, and Mitcha Bunka. And I'm your host, Uncle Tony Perkis. I'm going to try to reset the pits here when the lights come up. I should be able to get off track. We'll see what happens. Catch up with the action then shortly after. But again here today, it's really a testament to who can survive. Who's going to be able to last the 2 hours on this track. Especially in the prototype cars, it's those things are an absolute handful on regular courses. When on something like this, with all the bumps and the elevation changes, they have to be really careful they're not carrying too much speed over some of those portions, or they're going to take off like we saw TK do in qualifying, which, to be fair, was no fault of his own. But it's going to be an interesting race, especially around probably the 40-minute mark, 45-minute mark, when the prototypes start catching up to some of the slower cup cars. How are they going to handle that? I've just received word that our former race car driver turned French citizen Twizzler may be joining me in the broadcast booth. He was out chain smoking cigarettes last night with his French friends, and he can't talk today. Nope. And this won't be a standing start. They're not going to fly off the line. We're back. And here we go. I earned myself a nice penalty, as you can see, for resetting, but it's going to be very confusing with these prototype cars all being white. And I think that could be It is. It's our former race car driver turned GTR hater petrol.
Sound good?
You sound good now. Yeah, I had to turn you up over the roar of the engines, but...
Oh. You could have just left me down, I don't mind.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting one.
It's already interesting.
Yeah,
Was,
qualifying showed us anything.
I thought that was a race. There was enough people racing each other. It was interesting. Maybe a few reports after this to deal with.
And I think most of the action might be happening towards the back. I suspect there's going to be quite a bit of GT2s behaving badly from what we've seen in previous races.
Oh yeah.
The prototypes, we hope not. I'm sure Tomas is going to try to get as much of a lead as he can off the start. He's going to want to get away from all the stuff happening behind him.
I think if Rude's sensible, he'll just go smooth and slow. Hope stuff happens in front that he can benefit from. Unless he can get a jump right at the start.
Well, we'll see. They're actually starting, I think, after, not this corner, but the next, before the chicane. So we're going to have these cars flying down the straight into the chicane, bunched up. You can bet this is going to be very interesting. We should see the countdown coming out. Actually, I don't know if we see the countdown, but we'll know when they go. Ready? And we are off. Final round of the ACRL GTE series. This will be one for the books. Tomas out in front, playing nicely. Rune right on him. And they're already slotting in nicely. And right away we're seeing duct tape. The GT2s, we said this would be a battle between duct tape and Sake Lepo. They're tied in points. Oh, I have to say, I'm very impressed with how few major incidents there seem to be off the start of this.
We've still got a long time to go.
There's no doubt there's gonna be more, but that's. I thought going into that chicane would be a little dicey. Whoa. Sake getting a little airborne there. Front end picking up on him.
He's got some damage.
Yeah. Yeah, he does, you're right. To his front, so he must have maybe gone into a DP car.
Got a long way to go with that. Good luck to it.
And already we're seeing the field starting to spread itself out. Rune about a second off Tomas, and Megadeth 2 seconds behind him. Everywhere else we're seeing quite a bit of parity already. Let's go check out Pisani. It looks like he's trying to get past. Back here in the Cup cars. And John Audi in the horrific Trump skin. Keeping him at bay though, and Pisani's no slouch of a driver here. Ooh, that's very close. Oh, we have some misbehaving. Oh, it looks like Adder. Adder, what are you doing?
Oh.
Yep. Adder falling back. But as we discussed earlier too, it's this is just a race for pride for Adder, really. He's already got it locked up. Up in the GT2's Mustang SVT. Working on Well, he was. Oh, we have a. Who's that? Mitcha Bonka. We have a DP back here with the GT2s. He must have been misbehaving. Doesn't even get away from him, and he does. Too wide through here. Luca does a nice job slotting back in. Might have enough on that exit. Oh, he does. That's a nice move. He gets past Nitrax. Some very tight racing here. He's thinking about it. Very tough portion of the track to try to pass on here. The M3 is pretty grippy through the corners, but it's definitely going to lose up to that Corvette on anything in a straight line. Tidy line though. Coming up through the carousel. Oh. Nitrax coming out just a little soon, floating high off it. Nice move by Mustang to get by. And now he's back to chasing the Italian, Luca Babetto. We'll have to check back in with this. It looks like TK. Oh, I think he just made a move on Man with Garbage and we just missed it. Obviously, this is the same TK that we saw trying to start his own space program in qualifying.
He got some assistance.
Trying to launch himself into space off the back of a Ferrari.
Vince is now in the lead of the GT2s. Already 3 seconds ahead.
Who is this? I think it's also worth noting Tomas opening the lead up to 3.5 seconds on the first lap. Yeah, that's...
Bye-bye, Rune.
Yeah, Rune's gonna really have to turn it on. I mean, they're at the point now where they're just running free. So we'll see if he can start really focusing and putting on some laps that we know he frankly can, but Tomas just so fast. We see Trebot. I think that's his name. I think he just passed. Yeah, he did. Just got past him, K.
Well, this can only go well.
This will be interesting to see. Coming into the... Ooh. Let's see what he does. He's feigning a move. No, not able to get an exit he wanted there. Oh, we see some action. Duct tape. Chasing Oscar Pink, who I believe is a former Redline Racing League member. Maybe he still is. Oh, he runs a little wide. Can he get the exit? Nope. I don't think he's gonna have enough. believe that's Nitrax that was in there? Oh, no. Wise decision not to force the pass through there. And Sake giving it to him. Please pass me now. Excellent. That's what we'd like to see. And the Finn team member here, looks like his car's been to hell and back already in one lap. But still managing to stay ahead of all the other GT2s, so it couldn't... Oh wait, maybe not. I think there is someone ahead of him. I believe LP69 is actually the leading GT2 right now, if I'm not mistaken. His car looks flawless, so I'm going to assume there was something that happened with Sake. Oh, we have a battle going on. Did someone fall back there? Where's TK? I don't know. TK he got passed pretty badly by MK there. I'm gonna have to assume something happened. I'm not entirely sure what. And again, we see Rune still hanging about 3.5 seconds off Tomas. And I'm sure Tomas would like to see that lead extended quite a bit more, because quite frankly, that's not very comfortable on this track. We see MK. About 2.5 seconds off Megadeth. And Megadeth about 10 seconds off Rune, so it's really... We're starting to see the battle is kind of forming for the whole race here. Rune's going to be chasing Tomas. And Megadeth is leading MK and TK, who I have to assume are eventually going to be catching up. We'll see. Meanwhile, Micha Banca, who started last in the DPs, is up to 7th now. I don't even know. Did he even start with them? I'm not sure.
No idea.
I kind of don't think he did. But he quickly caught up. But still, 30 seconds behind the other driver in his class, so he's got quite a bit of work to do.
Relino's very comfortable in his first place in class.
Relino, yeah, 6 seconds ahead. And we're seeing Oscar Pink. Let's find him. There's a little three-way battle going on here. As expected, the GT2's pretty close racing here. With the exception of LP69, who's quite a ways ahead. As much as 7 seconds. But I believe that judging from where we're at in the standings with the GT2s, let's have a look. Really, this race just comes down to Sake and Duct Tape. They're both tied right now on points. They're way ahead of everyone else. So really, it's Duct Tape that's going to be trying to catch up here, and Sake holding them back.
Hi, George. Quick, are you back?
What's that?
We've got a position change up front.
Oh no.
Thomas is suddenly 11 seconds.
Oh
behind.
no. I didn't even see that.
You missed it. You abandoned me and you missed it. Going mad.
Someone just walked in my house, you know, shit happens.
I'm having that problem as well.
Rune,
Yeah, come on, donation.
Rune caught the break he needed.
Now
But
he's in control.
will it be enough? Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Tomas has to finish like 4th or lower.
Yep.
Oh no.
I think Rune has to win. Yeah, Rune has to win. If he wins.
I don't know if that's enough though. I think if Tomas comes in 2nd, it's still right.
I'm gonna work this out.
Yeah, do the math on this.
But we can only assume Thomas has got damage, so Rune is in control. As long as he stays out of trouble, he should be okay.
12 seconds is a pretty that's a pretty big gap that we're seeing right now. But again, hour 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Can Rune not make a mistake for an hour and 45 minutes? Especially after we saw him have a little bit of an incident in qualifying.
Highly doubtful.
It really just comes down to who can be the most consistent on the day.
He's just got to be careful. And then he's got it.
But not too careful. Because Tomas will catch him. Absolutely will.
He was 4 seconds faster in quali, and that's
Meanwhile, back at the battle we were watching. Well, we have Rolino giving the GT2s the business here. This is interesting.
he's enjoyed himself out there.
Man, well, on that straight now, that gap is gonna quickly go away. But right behind Rolino though, Matteo Pisani. I mean, he's only 2 seconds behind. I thought there was a much bigger lead than that earlier. So again, something must have happened.
Yeah, Pisani started from at one point he was 24th. Back of his class now, he's up to.
I'm finding Oscar Pink here, who I want to catch up with. Right here. Again, Oscar, this is his debut in ACRL. Brand new driver.
Doing good.
Hanging in there, giving a competent driver here a run for his money so far.
In fact, all the GT2s have got into trouble apart from him, so got a chance here for a second place, at least.
And it looks like Laszlo just passed duct tape. He did. So duct tape falling further behind. Quite a ways off Sake Lepo now, who he needs to beat to win the Drivers' Championship for this series.
It's not over though, because they've both got damage, so.
Oh, it's definitely not over.
That duct tape's broken.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be good. Is he going to make a move in the chicane, or is he back? You know, it looks like he might have backed off a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's being respectful of the championship at stake here. He's not part of that, so.
Who's that?
Oscar Pig. He doesn't want to ruin any championship battle between Sake and everything going on.
You know, he might play the spoiler, though. I don't know. We're going to see. Right now,
Chance, he'll take it for sure.
right now, Laszlo just holding him off in the section of the track where if there was going to be a significant pass, it was going to be there. Now, you know, you're kind of just getting the hot lap with the guy in front of you mode, because passing on this section,
Good luck.
very difficult. And going back to, we got Snooze nipping at Luca's heels here. Oh, and he hits the wall. Oh boy.
Whoa.
Is Rolino gonna capitalize? Oh, oh boy. Oh, that was close. Meanwhile, at the front, okay. Tomas looks like he was off again there.
The MK's right behind.
Yeah.
So be a podium on the cards here, maybe even second place. The race keeps going against Thomas, who knows?
Oh, this is very close. Oh, this is very close. MK wants to pass him, but he thinks better of it here.
He knows he's quicker, so he's taking his time. I think he's doing well to block any move.
This could be interesting up here going into the carousel. Oh wait, yeah, this is that. Okay. Ooh. Let's see. Oh, is he thinking about it? Opts out. Says, you know what? I don't think I want to do that. But right now, this looks like this is about the best battle we have besides Oscar, who's still right behind Sake. Mega doing everything he can. Locking up his tires. Whew. Hitting the curbs. Very sketchy part of the track for these cars. My goodness. I think it's also going to be interesting to see. Oh, and somehow. Did Tomas take it back from Rune? He did. Well, I look away from these guys for a second. Rune must have had an off-track incident. He went on an excursion. And now Tomas, 3 seconds ahead.
3 seconds ahead again.
Right back to where we started.
I mean, I guess consistency doesn't translate very well into Dutch. He's throwing it away there. What's playful still though?
Well, we were just talking about it. Can Rune hold it together? And it must have been some kind of spin, I would think. He didn't lose. Yeah, he lost about 10 seconds there, yeah.
He did, yeah. But, I mean, the car's not suited to the track. But they're going to
Yeah, oh, they're going to have their hands full. We have Snooze here. Giving Luca Babetta a run for his money here. Oh, he locks up his tires. Ooh. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys handle pit stops today. I don't know. I don't think one's going to be enough for anyone that's thinking maybe they can make mediums last or hards last an hour.
Yeah.
I don't think on this track it's going to be doable, but we'll see.
I mean, with the Lotus, where the Silverstone race had 2, and that worked quite well. 2 stops. So, who knows really?
I would anticipate 2.
ET2 should do just the 1, exactly halfway. But the Lotus is a smaller tank, so they might have to do 2.
That's true too. Yep. Oh, Luca. Not entirely sure what happened to him there, but he's falling way behind now. Looked like he lost the back end a little bit, and that was all she wrote. And now we have Verlino still giving the GT2s the business here. Just being the peskiest Lotus. Meanwhile, oh, Luca taking a little bit of an expedition there. Meanwhile, oh, perfect timing. Okay, finally made a pass on Megadeth going into the chicane.
Yeah, it was always coming. Yeah,
very nice.
I could try and chase down the 2 damaged cars in front of him.
Well, 30-second gap is he's gonna have his work cut out for him. Meanwhile, we'll check back in with Oscar Pink, who's still right behind Sake. Locks up his tires, just maybe a hair. In the GT2 class, really, besides this and Laszlo behind Oscar, really starting to spread itself out quite a bit.
I think Oscar will be disappointed a little bit, but he hasn't passed him already.
I mean, Turbin Chen got about 10 seconds on Sake here, and that's first place.
He's cruising, he's keeping it safe. His race to lose, so. He knows the 2 behind him are battling, so he's got it all under control, really.
Yeah, this is his for the taking right now. You know, it looks like Megadeth trying to get his position back, maybe. Very close here. And we still see Rune. About 3.5 seconds off Tomas. I mean, it's really... very few things have changed. Oh. Mega's car trying to bite him a little bit, I think.
He's hanging on to the back of the car.
Yeah, that was, very interesting. Now, I guess the real question becomes, where is the traffic? When are we gonna see those passes? So let's see. John Audi, who's currently in last.
I think he's been in an accident and he's pitted for repairs already, so he's
Yeah,
far behind. I assume he's playing the long game on hards, where they will need to stop for fuel if he is, so that won't work.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of time here. We're going to be seeing them catch up, though. Rune just doing everything he can to keep Tomas in sight.
Slowly fading away again.
What's that?
Rune slowly fading. He's 3.5 seconds behind now.
Yeah, he's got to be kicking himself a little bit here.
Oh yeah.
He had it, and maybe just pushed a little too hard.
I mean, it didn't go his way last race. And unfortunate one with some collisions come out of it, so the only chance now.
I don't see any noticeable damage on his car, so I don't think that's a concern. I'm really wondering what happened.
Too many people to watch.
Maybe Rune just slowed down and let Tomas by, you know? He wanted a challenge.
Somewhat doubt that.
Okay, still holding off Megadeth here. Meanwhile, really, the battle to watch has just been Oscar Pink right behind Sake. I mean, this is, he's been just glued to him this entire time. This is, for the last 10 minutes, this has been going on. And I'm not sure if it's a lack of, you know, having a place to really pass, or if their pace is just so similar that he's just constantly a half second behind him.
Darko's done well to keep it behind this long, but if Oscar stays at this gap on the big straight, surely he's going to take him.
Yeah, if he can keep him this close, he's got a real chance. Meanwhile, Sake might be closing the gap a little bit on Turban Chen, to be honest. At least it looked like it through that section. Now it's opened up a bit. It's kind of hard to tell with these splits here on this leaderboard, to be honest.
Ruden's closed the gap, now down to 2.8.
I can't tell if it was maybe the straight. Oh, Oscar. Looks like he had a little bit of a misstep on the carousel there. Whoa. Even with these crazy moves, it's still a second. And it's this really might be the battle to watch today, is between these two. But as long as Sake stays above duct tape, he's in good shape. And right now that gap, duct tape's fallen pretty far behind here. And we saw Megadeth, I think, pit stop there, which is interesting.
Yeah, he's down to 5th now. An early pit stop for him.
That's really interesting. Oh, and who's that? TK. Off track, maybe dead in his car. Well, this is looking pretty ominous here, and he's gone. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. GTE final round, our first rage quit. I'm sure Megadeth is none too pleased about that, seeing as the gap in front of him is 50 seconds. He's almost a minute behind. He has a long hour and a half ahead of him, just staring at the wonders that is the Nordschliefe. Meanwhile, back in the action, Oscar Pink still a half second behind. Ooh. Oscar might be thinking about it? Nope. We have duct tape pitting. Another early one. Very interesting. That's gonna be really tough for him to bounce back from. As Sake just opens that gap up even more now. It's a pretty long pit stop too. I wonder if he's repairing damage. He must be. Duct tape down to 16. What do you think, Petrol? Do you just try to stick out the damage for the entire race, or do you sacrifice yourself to the Kunos gods and just eat the excruciatingly long repair time?
I mean, he's doing well at the moment, so there's no reason for him to repair it. Tech's still in the pits, so maybe he is repairing.
Oh, he's 100%. If he's still in the pits now, he's repairing without a doubt. And that's
probably a good decision because he is struggling.
He was falling behind. He wasn't able to keep pace, and that's not what we saw, according to his qualifying time. So I mean, there's still a lot of time left. Anything can happen, but ooh, Sake again. That front end getting off the ground there. Ooh, Oscar with the run. Oh, he's going for it. Oh, he's going for it, and he wisely backs off. Oh, oh man. And that opens it up for Laszlo now. He's right behind Oscar. Meanwhile, I didn't even see. Looking towards the front. We see Tomas doing something a little weird there, but Rune now only a second and a half behind. And Tomas showing what looks to be quite a bit of damage on just about all sides of his car there.
Yeah, he's losing time, he's struggling.
Yeah, Rune is he's catching up now, second behind. This is for the lead.
Interesting to see how much speed he's lost in the straight.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna really be able to gauge what's going on here.
Within a second now, so this should be.
Doesn't look like he's opening it up too much. Oh, and they both pit at the same time. Well, this is going to be interesting. Rune in the front box. Come on. Be interesting to see if Tomas is going to try to repair. I can't imagine he is.
No. Unless he's very confident.
Oh no. He must be. Oh wait. No, he didn't. Rune just much faster out of the pit. Wow.
Advantage Rune.
Wow. Rune having a great pit stop, opening up the gap now, 6 seconds. surprising. Meanwhile, back to Oscar Pink, who, after trying to pass Sake earlier, catches right back up. This is a pretty impressive drive from him so far. Well, if Oscar's gonna make a move, it's gotta be up here. And it looks like Sake, I don't know, maybe the damage is starting to really affect his car. But then we also have Laszlo right behind Oscar.
Yeah, Sake's starting to hold people up now, but he's doing well still.
Let's see, this could be where it happens. Oh yeah, Oscar definitely has pace. And here it comes. And Oscar finally cracks the nut that was Sake Lepa. But I can't imagine he's going to go quietly now. Yeah, now Oscar really showing the pace, I think. It'd be interesting to see how much he can open it up if he really was being if he really was being held up. And we'll see now if Laszlo can close that gap a little bit, which would have been interesting if duct tape hadn't repaired. And Rolino in the Lotus passing Saran and Pisani. Actually, that looks like a pretty decent battle. Let's see what's going on down there. Pisani did a nice job catching up here. Oh, he's got the run too. Pisani takes first in the Cup cars here. It didn't look like anyone was going to be able to catch Rolino on this track. Ooh, he's cutting that very close. And then he pits. So Rolino just holds right on. Meanwhile, in the front, Rune up to 11 seconds.
He's in control. He's doing. You're right. He's shown that he's still in front. That's what it is. Yeah, he's doing what he should have done earlier. I guess putting some gap between him and Thomas.
Also, important to note, Rune, our race leader, just passed the slowest Cup car. So we're gonna start seeing the DP starting to hit some traffic, which really it adds a whole new dynamic to this race because of how difficult it is to pass here, as we saw in qualifying with ACRL astronaut TK trying to take off into space. Here we go. Tomas maybe giving a little bit of a bump there. Asking him nicely, please get out of my way. Hard to tell, but all is not lost. Checking in. Back with the GT2s here. Again, just the closest battle. Oscar opening up the gap a little bit. About a second and a half right now. Laszlo trying real hard to get past Sake as well now. And I'm assuming Turbinchen probably pit.
Yes, sir. Oh, well, we missed that.
It might have been a pit. He was the GT2 leader. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here now. We're at about the 45-minute into the race mark. So those guys that haven't yet pit stop are really going to... you have to assume that they're getting about ready. Unless they're really trying to extend it to the hour mark. Try to last another 2 laps after this and see if maybe they can do a one-stop race. But that's going to be... it'd be a little tricky.
I think they can do it. If you're someone like Turbinchen, or was, and you're in control, then he could have done that, but maybe a field light, get ahead at the start.
Not a bad strategy. And here's Duct Tape, who sacrificed himself to the Kunos gods, repaired his car, fell way behind in the championship here, forcing his will on that M3. Side by side. A nice pass. M3 getting a little bit of airtime there. Very cool. Meanwhile, in first, Rune still with a 10-second lead. Let's catch back up with him. Rune obviously coming way out ahead on that pit stop with Tomas.
Yeah, Thomas must have repaired. I think that car repairs quicker.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I think it does because it's a mod.
But he's not putting the pace that we would expect, so I'm not sure if traffic held him up.
Let's see. I don't think they've hit traffic yet. Who would be next? Snooze. Let's see. Yeah, they're not quite there yet. They're not too far off. They might be catching him towards the end of this current lap that they're on. Meanwhile, Saran, it's about the shortest gap here. He's trying to catch up to a Lotus. Meanwhile, Oscar Pink almost opening it up to about a 2-second lead there. But our former leader, Turbinchen, is quickly catching up on Laszlo Gall. He might actually, he might really have some serious pace on this track. It'll be interesting to see how fast he closes this gap. Oh, he's making that look easy. Yeah.
Storm's passed. Wow.
Yeah. That was I think that's a driver we're gonna have to pay close attention to. He's got 10 seconds now. About 8.5 coming down the main straight to catch up to Sake, but I don't.
He might be two-stopping.
I don't think Sake or Oscar have pit yet.
No. I think they're one-stopping and Vinch is two-stopping, so Vinch has really got to keep the pace up, else he hasn't got a chance. But no, I did two-stop last race and it worked, so it might work for him as well. And he stayed out of trouble, so he got have trouble beating Oscar Pink, because Oscar Pink's on some good pace and he looks to be one-stopping.
Meanwhile, we have Luca Babetto catching up to Duct Tape here. Duct Tape, who is tied in first place in the Drivers' Championship for GT2, tied with Sake, who's currently in 6th. Is Duct Tape's really got his work cut out for him this last hour if he's gonna have any hope at bringing this title home. I think he's going to need a little bit of divine intervention, so maybe a lightning bolt to Sake's car.
Looks like he's still got some damage, so
he does. He does.
Well, this game works. I'm not sure if it repairs you visually as well, but he does have damage, and he's got a mission to do here.
We'll see what kind of pace Sake really has, because he's got Turbanchen catching up what seems like pretty rapidly right now. Let's find that. Yeah, and you can see Oscar's really kind of starting to open that up a little bit now.
I've already got 4 DPs left already.
Assuming, is Mitcha still racing?
He's all the way at the back, so I'm not sure what's happening to him.
He is still racing, so we have 5. But he must be having a hell of a day.
Yeah.
It's not an easy car to drive in the first place, and it's certainly not easy to drive on this track.
Looks like Thomas is closing on Rune now.
Yeah, I saw that. About 4 seconds. Perhaps Arun had a little bit of a misstep somewhere. Because that was not too long ago, about a 10-second gap.
Yeah, they're not looking very consistent, either of them, but they've got the pace to...
And the perfect shot here of the traffic incoming.
Oh, yes.
So this will be when it gets interesting. But this is kind of a good place to catch up now for them, because they're going to be hitting the GT circuit, where it's going to be a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But they're going to hit that mid to back pack. It's going to be some very tight roads, so it'll be pretty interesting to see how these two handle that.
Thomas might be unlucky and catch them just as they're going onto the old track. That's going to slow them down. Rune needs to get these overtakes done quickly as possible, then he can do a big gap.
Yeah, the more that Rune can pass on this section of the course, the better off he's going to be. We see Snooze locking his tires up, maybe trying to get out of the way. Oh, he's going to go for it. Oh, he's going to go for it. Why wouldn't you? Now it's going to be interesting to see. Tomas is still a little bit of a ways back. Let's see where he makes it. Oh, he got the straight here. He should be in pretty good shape.
It looks like they're both going to overtake this first car without losing any time, so they're doing well here.
Well, that gap is definitely not what it was.
Snooze has helped them both out, to be fair to him, so.
Yep, Snooze doing the right thing, giving way for the leaders here, who are in a pretty good battle. It's just been back and forth all race. Rune taking advantage of the pit stop. You know, both of them taking advantage of each other's mistakes. So it's going to be really, I think, who can get through the traffic quicker and cleaner as they enter the old part of the track here. This is going to be good. Meanwhile, looking elsewhere, Turbinchen down to about 3.5-4 seconds behind Sake now. So he's really closing that gap aggressively. And Sake about 2 seconds behind Oscar. So Turbinchen really, he's flying. He's catching up quickly. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
He's on a mission.
He wants that win. The coveted GTE Nürburgring win. Rune living dangerously on these curbs. Now, if I'm correct, they passed Snooze. They should be catching up to Luca, who's currently pretty close to Mustang. So 2 GT2 cars here. We should see them catch up this lap. Tomas, a man on a mission here. Aggressively closing the gap. Oh, this is going to be good. Meanwhile, we see Rolina in the standings, giving another GT2 trouble. That pesky Lotus. Oh, and there's Sake in the pit.
Yeah, so he's doing the one stop.
Yep, that's what he's going for. And I still don't think we've seen Oscar Pink in the pits yet.
That'll be next lap, surely.
It has to be.
This might work in favour of Da Vinci. They might have stayed out too long.
But again, LP69 Turbinchen, 3 seconds now behind Oscar Pink. He's already had his pit, so he's running on fresher tires, and I think that's really starting to show, because he viciously climbed up. Meanwhile, we see Tomas here, about to break into the, yeah, there it is.
He's closing the gap.
Less than 2 seconds behind now. This is
It's a long way to their next pit stop.
On board with Rune. We see a yellow flag out. I'm not entirely sure for what. I mean, Tomas is driving like a man possessed right now. I can't believe how much he's closed the gap just on this lap alone.
Keeps going, he'll be able to get him on the straight, so it's going to be interesting.
I mean, less than a second now through that section.
I mean, he was 4 seconds quicker in quali, so.
He has a little bit of an excursion off track there, but
just under an hour to get this done.
Yeah. Oh, we see traffic up ahead on the straight, which is very fortunate for Rune. Will Tomas be able to pass before? I don't think so.
That off might cost him a lot more time.
That's really beneficial for Rune because I think Tomas is going to hit him right into the turns here, which is going to slow him down maybe a little bit, but it'll surely take him in the straight. Oh yeah. Oh no, Luca catching the worst of it. And Luca heads to the pits.
Oh.
And that'll certainly set Tomas back a little bit, but
He might struggle now with that damage again.
yeah, that's tough.
Rune can sit and relax for a little bit again now.
Yeah,
Take it easy.
Rune just bought himself a little bit of time. Meanwhile, let's check in with Mustang SVT. Battling with a Lotus, and he gets past him there. It's currently the closest battle on the field here. Oh wait, I take that back. Looking ahead.
Ooh, yeah, it's hard again.
We see Turbinchin has now officially caught up to Oscar, but Oscar has to be able to catch up here. I'm sorry, he's going to have to pit on this lap. I don't see how he can go any longer. I'll tell you, this is an impressive debut for Oscar, though, showing really good pace on right now what can't be great conditions for that car. I mean, his tires have to be they have to be pretty worn at this point, and we might see a pass right here. Tough section of the track to do it. Oh, he's gonna go for it. Very good driving. Very good driving there by Turbinchin. Impressive pass.
Yeah, he's wasted no time with that one.
That's a tricky part of the track to pull something like that off, and he made that stick. And fair play to Oscar.
Someone say for that.
Fair play to Oscar too, keeping his head on a swivel there.
He needs to get that done.
He certainly he didn't make it easy for him, but he you know, he did a good job giving space. Very nice.
Etabinchin's doing everything that he needs to do.
And we see Mustang again catching up to someone. Mustang, a newer driver in the NA scene. I know he's using an Oculus wrist. More power to him for having that thing on for 2 hours. Oh boy. Wise decision. Wise decision to back out of that one. I did not see that one ending well.
Yeah. He's taking his time.
I was really hoping he wasn't going to do that because that would have been...
Yeah, he knows he's quicker. He's got to find the right opportunity to stay close.
And you know, the M3 is definitely one of the slower of the GT2s, but it's...
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Surprisingly nimble though on this track.
It's fun, but it's just slow.
You're going to see that Corvette. He's going to have to either get past him before the straight and hopefully open up a bit of a... Oh, that might be the opportunity he needed. Nitrak's doing a good job recovering from that. That was almost very unfortunate for him. Sniffing the inside. Oh boy, here we go. And we have Rolino right behind them. Oh, Mustang makes it stick. Another nice pass we're seeing in a pretty difficult portion of the track to do it. That's
yeah,
good driving. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, we see Tomas is once again within striking distance. A second and a half off of Rune. And this is the section of the course where we saw him last lap really make up a lot of time. We see Rolino elsewhere on the track. He's trying to get past Nitrax. Oh, it's tough to jump from this, though. I'm sorry, Rolino, but I think we're gonna have to stay here and see how they handle this traffic up ahead. I want nothing more than to see a Lotus pass a GT2, but I think they're coming up on Sarayan.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure who that is.
No, I can't see.
Oh boy. Tomas right on his ass now. This is worst case scenario for Rune. This is not what he wanted to happen, is to get tied up in traffic.
Gives to make this stick quickly.
Makes a nice pass inside. They both do. But now that gap has really closed up.
That's hurt him a lot.
And coming into the straight here, who's going to get the better exit? I think Tomas caught a little bit of grass there. So Rune bought himself once again a little bit of time, but how long can he keep up this charade? Elsewhere on the track, Rolino did get past Nitrax. Nice job in the Lotus.
He's enjoying himself. So's Pisani. He's up into 11th.
Pisani, yeah, way ahead. Rolino's got about a 30-second gap to close up to Pisani there. That's no small order.
They do a pit stop maybe. Rolino might be doing a 2-stop. Or free stop, who knows?
They might have to. And here we go. This is gonna be a hot battle here. Let's see what Tomas can do. Looks like he lost a little bit of grip on exit there. He might be pushing kind of hard to try to get a, you know, maybe if he could have gotten a pass in this section, then he could really open it up on the portions of the track where he's much faster. But it looks like he maybe pushed a little too hard. And I think Rune's going to be able to hold on, which is going to make any passing pretty difficult. And we're seeing Luca in the pit again. He just pit, I think, 2 laps ago. After the collision with Tomas. He might be repairing more damage, I'm not sure. But falling further down in his debut here in ACRL.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. Oh, and there it is. The dagger. Luca has retired from the race. The second casualty to the 2-hour Nordschliefe. Oh, we're coming up on some more traffic here. It sounds like Tomas might have maybe misshifted there a little bit. Oh man. And whoever that GT2 was, he knew the storm that was coming behind him and he just immediately bailed out. He wanted no part of any of what was happening behind him with these two. And sometimes you just have to pick and choose your battles. Oh, Rune. Oh. Oh. And there it is. Oh, no. Oh, no. What a horrible place to have that accident happen. Oh, man. And Tomas.
Oh, he's choked.
Oh, man.
He's choked.
He caught a little bit of grass, and that was it. And now Tomas.
And he's left a bit on Thomas as well.
Oh, man. Extends the lead quite a bit.
I think it might be all over for him now.
That's going to be a pretty tough gap to close up, especially because Tomas was showing that he really does have pace on this. That could be the dagger.
I think he's bottled it. I think he's bottled it.
With 45 minutes left, I mean, anything could happen, but that's
It's not over yet, but against him now with the damage. I mean, he was already a little bit off of Thomas's pace. That damage is going to help, so he's going to have to hope for a miracle with back markers.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to overcome. So we'll look elsewhere on track now. While we were gone, Turbinchen has taken the lead. In the GT2s by a significant margin. 35 seconds? I have to assume that Oscar finally pit.
Yeah.
Because that gap is about as big as it's going to get. I have to assume Although, didn't Turbinchan, he pit kind of early, didn't he?
Yeah,
So,
Oscar pitted about 53 minutes to go.
so Oscar's probably done. He's going to run that one pit stop for the rest of the race.
Yep.
I'm not sure that Turbinchan is going to be able to do that. I think he's going to have to take another one.
But he's got a big gap, so I think he's comfortable for a second stop. So I think his strat's paid off.
We'll have to see. That's an interesting one. But meanwhile, we have Adder, our Cup champion, just cruising in the back on his own, enjoying a nice day. Out here just to have fun. He's already got the championship locked up. So, congrats to him. But nothing to see here. I think really, everything's kind of opening up now, but it looks like Sake about 5 seconds off Oscar. I don't know, did he repair his car? It does not look like it. Let's get a look at this thing. Yeah, he's seeing quite a bit of damage on that thing.
It's not been his day, but he's doing well still.
He is. He's hanging in there. I mean, the closest car behind him is Dennis, who's about a minute back.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing what he needs to do. So okay, he doesn't need to do any more than this, so he can just cruise and stay out of holes, and he's won the championship.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Because duct tape is significantly back, almost a little more than a minute and a half. Yeah. So that's gonna be probably an insurmountable gap unless Sake flips the car into the woods or something like that happens. We see Tomas pitting. Is Rune gonna follow suit?
Rune might be tempted to repair as well.
He is. Yeah, Rune doing the same thing. I think he can see the writing on the wall here. That this is probably not going to end in the way that he hoped it had.
Yeah, it's a shame. He was doing well.
He was. He gave Tomas a run. But at the end of the day, it was the consistency that we knew was going to win this, and so far, Tomas is really he's mitigated any mistakes for the most part. There was the one hiccup early on that we assumed was some kind of off-track incident that he repaired damage for, but since then he's been solid. Meanwhile, everywhere else it is just big gaps, which was to be expected at the back portion of the race. I suppose that we're lucky we got as much action as we did. See duct tape pitting again. Let's keep an eye on Sake. Oscar really opening that lead up. Yeah, and I think if I was Sake, I think that's how you say his name. To be honest, I don't even know. But
I guess so.
I don't know. But if I was him, I mean, I know what's at stake going into this race. That really, I'm just racing against duct tape. So he has to be looking at the times here, and I would assume that he's got some kind of app that's telling him how far ahead he is. I'm not even worried about Oscar and trying to catch him at this point.
Yeah, there's no need.
There's just there's no reason to push it. Maybe make like a horrific mistake. You just kind of
Makes a mistake. He's got a big gap.
yeah. You just gotta. I think you just kind of bide your time. Do 40 minutes of just about 80% speed laps. You know, don't go too crazy. And I think he's gonna be just fine with that. I don't see that gap closing up. But speaking of duct tape, we do have something going on here. He's getting pretty close to Pisani in the Lotus here. Which normally, I mean, you know, a class down, it's kind of an issue. It shouldn't be much to watch, but these cars, they're a lot closer than they were at the start of this season. So this actually might be kind of an interesting little battle to watch here. I don't think Pisani's gonna put up much of a fight here, to be honest. And as I said it, it came true. Pisani doing the gentlemanly thing. Just getting out of the way. He doesn't want any more issues. And I actually think that's kind of smart by him. Because if I'm not mistaken, Pisani's in first in the Cup cars.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that duct tape's in a championship battle as well, so doesn't want to be the villain.
I can't say that I blame him. And he's still got a pretty comfortable gap over Relino, who's in second. Again, that's I think we're just going to start to see a lot of consistent driving by the guys that are out in front with a pretty nice gap. No reason to really push it. If you're getting lapped by a faster class, you just kind of make room. Just eat the little bit of a time loss, but in the overall picture, it's not really going to hurt you. Yeah, looking elsewhere, there's Rune with 30-second gap now. Or at least it was. Megadeth slowly catching up to MK. Turbine Chen way out in front. He might be coming around for his next lap here. It'd be interesting to see if he pits. And as I said it once again came true. So let's see how fast of a pit stop he does here, because he has Oscar Pink about a minute behind now. So we'll see what kind of gap he has coming out. I would still think it's going to be about 20 seconds or so.
Yeah, he's looking comfortable.
Oh, yeah. I think Oscar's probably coming down the straight. Yeah. So it's not quite the gap that it was. And that should be it on pit stops for that class. So now it's a question of, can Oscar find the pace to catch him? And I gotta tell you, it's I don't think that's gonna happen.
No. I think Tabincha's probably been the best driver of the race.
I would think so too. He's been pretty consistent. I don't think we've seen him really have any kind of issues.
Yeah, I mean, he's been bold, gone 2-stop, and he's done everything spot on. So
let's see how Megadeth handles Rolino here. And you know Rolino, that's a nice pass. Nothing wrong with that. Rolino about 25 seconds behind Pisani for first place in that class. Quite a big gap.
Yeah, those two guys look comfortable as well. In a little pocket of space on their own, so they got no pressure.
No, not very much. We have, let's check in with Asjera Kovacs. And the Lotus that looks like it's been to hell and back. But catching up to Mustang in the M3 GT2. But that lead, I think, is about to... That gap's going to open up here on the straight, I would assume. Even though the BMW is far slower on the straights than the other GT2s. One has to assume it's still quicker than the Lotuses. And that certainly doesn't help, as Jarrett caught a little bit of grass there in kind of a strange place. And we see Pisani in the pits, though. So what does that mean for Rolino? Will he be able... Or will he pit? No, he won't. And Pisani having a long pit stop here. So Rolino takes back the first place position in the Cup cars. Pisani falls to what third place. It'll be interesting to see if the other guys are going to be pitting anytime soon. I can't imagine that Rolino's going to go the rest of the race without one. But it's certainly getting down to crunch time here. You know, you kind of get into that point. They're running about 8-minute laps. So you're talking about almost inside 20 minutes where you're going to pit. You're not really getting a lot of bang for your buck there. And at that point, it almost seems like it wouldn't be worth it. I think we're gonna see Pisani catch up here. He's running some very clean lines here. We could see a pass right in this section here. Maybe. Guys, Jared doing a nice job. This is gonna be this could be a pretty good little battle here for late in the race. But in the meantime, looking elsewhere, there is not much else happening on the track. Rune still 20 seconds behind Tomas. Oscar is still about 15 seconds back off Turbanchen. Very few things have changed. And then we have Adder, the champion of the Cup cars, calling it quits. Not a great showing of sportsmanship.
He's got a bit bored.
And we're down to 19 drivers. What did we start with?
More.
What? More.
We started with 25.
So we've lost 6. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how many more we lose in this final half hour, last quarter of the race. Oh, Pisani, is he going for it? So far as Jared just kind of stumping him here. Oh, did he finally get it? Nope. Just does not have an answer right now, but you have to assume it's going to be on this back straight. Pisani's going to be hoping to get a much better exit. Oh, it could be right here. Ooh. Showing restraint. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's definitely going to take him right now. And there they go. Pisani takes it. Meanwhile, oh, Laszlo Gall just passed Dennis elsewhere on the track. Oh, these two are damn near side by side. Oh, wow. Pisani actually couldn't make it stick. Very surprising considering the exit he had there. Very close. Pisani might have come in a little hot there. It didn't seem to hurt him though. Well, he gets a good run. Going side by side, he kind of pushes him out. Not bad. He's going to be able to break better into the chicane. Pisani finally makes it stick. Let's see if Jarrah can take it back. And I don't think Jarrah is going to be able to keep up with Pisani's pace. It looks like this gap, this could get a little out of hand pretty quickly. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Tomas in first with a very comfortable lead still. Still 30 seconds ahead of Rune after Rune's catastrophic incident, catching a little bit of grass, caused the car to lose grip, spun wildly. A tough end to a tough day for him. But assuming nothing else changes, Tomas is going to go on to become the Season 7 GTE prototype champion.
Yeah, I think Rude's going to struggle to sleep tonight.
Yeah, just knowing what could have been, he just gave it away.
We'll be having nightmares.
Cold sweats just thinking about that turn, that section of the track. But everywhere else, especially with the prototypes, the gaps are tremendous. And we're going to see, I think this lead is, or this gap between these two is going to become insurmountable for Jarrah. I just don't think he has the same pace, and this car showing quite a few signs of damage too. I'm not sure how much that's affecting his pace or not, but Looking elsewhere, we have Dennis Marquardt, which is also his premier race in ACRL. About 10 seconds behind Laszlo. And we also have Sake, who, presuming nothing catastrophic happens to him in the final 20 minutes of the race, he will be the GT2 champion over Duct Tape, who's fallen quite far behind. That gap is... No, that's not going to happen. Gap's almost 2 minutes now. It looks like Dennis's car has a bit of damage on the front too. His hood looks like it's about to fly up in his face. But, you know, it's a tough race for Dennis. But at the same time, he can say that he, assuming nothing changes, he finished higher than Duct Tape, who was in the running for the GT2 champion.
It's not a bad way to...
So, if we're going to spin it, I mean, that's not a bad way to do it. He's quite a bit, I think Nitrax is also in a GT2, as well as Mustang, Sarayan, and Snooze, and Archer. Where's all the Lotuses today? We have Rolino, we have Pisani, Esgera,
and that's it.
And John Audi.
Oh, yeah.
Who's been...
He's been
doing his own thing. Doing his own thing in the back. But credit where credit's due. Credit where credit's due. He hasn't quit. He hasn't rage quit. He's finishing strong. And that's the attitude we like to see. Meanwhile, Rune, 40-second gap. He will be seeing this in his nightmares tonight. We'll check back in with our race leader here, Tomas. And presumptive prototype champion. He was 4 seconds faster in qualifying. He had this car dialed in. I think it also helps that this is a track that he seems to have quite the fondness for. He's one of the main members on the Get Nordschliefe and GT3 committee.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that.
and we could be seeing why right here. He is an absolute beast on this track.
He's alright, isn't he? He's alright.
But what could have been?
Yeah, I mean...
What could have been if Rune hadn't lost...
I mean, he qualified 4 seconds faster, so it was his to lose. And he hasn't lost it, so...
No. There was a moment there where it looked like he might have made a few missteps that might have really hurt him. But at the end of the day, he closed the gap just about every time when Rune had it.
Yeah.
And even had Rune not crashed, I don't think that he would have been able to hold Tomas behind him for the remainder of the race, because that was at about the 50-minute mark, 45-minute mark.
Yeah.
I don't see how he could have kept him behind him with the pace that he has for the remainder of the race. And 15 minutes left. I'm sure fatigue is starting to set in on some of these guys if it hasn't already.
They're only sitting down.
What's that?
I'm joking. Yeah, I mean, a lot of them will be looking at the time and feeling thankful that they haven't got long to go now.
Especially, I don't know how the guys that are in VR for this race do it for 2 hours on this track.
Must take drugs, must do.
Most do. I know TK, who blasted off into space in qualifying, was...
I mean, that must look cool.
It must have looked cool, or maybe it made him sick. I'm not sure. It could have been either or.
Yeah.
And speaking of blasting off into space, we see Tomas coming up to the launch pad Ferrari right now. That actually might have been the exact section it happened in.
It was. All history repeats.
Archer does a good job just giving space, letting the race leader through to do his thing.
Doesn't want to be the villain.
And Tomas's previous lap of the 7:33. Rune behind him, a 7:43 last lap, so he's running 10 seconds slower.
Yeah, Tomas doesn't need to go so quick. He can drop a lot of pace and still.
Yeah, still hang on and be pretty comfortable. Meanwhile, we see, I think Pisani's closed the gap on Rolino quite a bit, it looks like.
Yeah, Pisani looked to be on a 2-stop, I think, so. Got the fresher tyres.
About 5 seconds back. That's for first place in Cup. So it'd be interesting to see if he has the pace to close it in 10 minutes. You figure they probably have maybe another 2 laps, best case scenario. Tomas should be, oh, Tomas pit.
Wow, okay.
Wait.
This wasn't in the script.
Tomas pit with 11 minutes left, which allowed Rune. Well, just when you think you've seen it all, and I thought this would be smooth sailing towards the end, that's a curveball that I did not see coming.
Did he need more fuel?
Maybe he miscalculated his fuel.
Maybe. But Rune's still going.
Yeah, Rune. Oh boy. So now the question becomes, oh my god, can Tomas close a 13-second gap in 10 minutes? He's got about, it's going to be 2 laps.
I mean, that would explain why he was 10 seconds quicker. Well, partly explain.
Ooh, this could really come down to it.
If he's still 10 seconds quicker, he should in theory still win.
He should. Rune ran a 7:40 that lap. So that was about 7 seconds behind Tomas's lap before he pit.
He'd have 2 more laps.
It'll be 2 laps. Yeah, it'll be 2 laps. They'll cross the line with about 3 minutes, roughly.
To be honest, I'm expecting people to run out of fuel.
We'll keep an eye on Rune's RPMs and see what his driving strategy looks like if he's getting low. But right now he's hammering it. So that was 3 pit stops for Tomas.
Yeah, this is
He must have run out of fuel, or he had no confidence that he was going to finish, because the DNF means that he would have lost.
It's
so
strange.
So in a way, he had to pit if he thought he wasn't going to finish, even if there was a sliver of a doubt, because then he loses the driver's championship. I still think
he's got away with murder. He really has.
I still think though, and you did the calculations. Let me bring it up. Let me bring up the sheet here. So Tomas was 6 points ahead.
Yeah.
So first place gets how many points?
First place gets 37.
37 points. So that puts Rune at 247, and second place gets how many?
Second place gets 34.
Okay. So it wouldn't be enough.
No.
Tomas still would win in second place by 3 points. So I think that was probably his reasoning behind it, was that he probably thought he might have been close on fuel. And rather than DNF and lose it, you suck it up. You maybe take second place if you can't close the gap, which he already is starting to chew away at. And you let Rune sleep tonight.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to, because Tomas is really chipping away at that gap already. Meanwhile, while that is going on, we'll keep a close eye on it, but Pisani is within 2 seconds of Rolino. Coming down the back straight right now. They're going to have two... maybe they won't. Oh, it's going to be interesting to see how many laps they have left. This could potentially be their last lap upcoming. Depending on where Rune or Tomas finish. Oh, Rolino. Looks like he totally borked his braking point there, which opened the door for Pisani. I think, yeah, he makes it stick. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe just a lapse in concentration. An hour and 54 minutes into the race. But Pisani has just been driving like a man possessed right now. And it looks like Pisani is really just going to kind of run away with this one now. Already that gap's up to 2 seconds. And he's just been so solid this season down the stretch here, both in GT3 and GTE. He put on quite the show last week at Majura Valley in the Pro-Am GT3 to round 7. It'd be interesting to see how he does at Monza coming up. I'm not entirely sure if he has that championship in the bag yet or not. I suspect he probably does. Let's check back in with Rune, who's in the pit. So now Rune pits with 4 minutes left in the race and gives it back to Tomas. This surely must have been some miscalculations with fuel. And with that, though, assuming Tomas doesn't total his car on this final lap, he is the Season 7 GTE champion of the prototype class. Oh man, what a race it has been. And I know how these guys are feeling right now. They're probably about ready to be done. I know when I ran this race last season, at about the 1 hour 30-minute mark into the race, I couldn't wait for it to be finished. It is a pretty brutal test on you. Most other tracks, you can kind of put yourself on autopilot a little bit, but not with this one. You need to be on your game and paying attention to what's happening pretty much at all times. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time. See Tomas here coming up to Saran. Might have caused Saran to take a little bit of a different line there. He didn't necessarily like. It looks like he lost it a little bit there. But Tomas still driving like Rune is right behind him, nipping at his tail. Really making it clear that he is winning this race, and he's not letting off the throttle until he crosses the finish line. So we're coming down to the end of time here. So now once Tomas crosses, his race will be finished. And everyone else around him, they'll be finishing the lap that they're on. Looking elsewhere, it looks like... Oh. Tomas. Oh boy. Oh.
I mean, that's an interesting line he's taken.
That was,
Yeah, no, I mean...
That was tough.
He's got nothing to lose, but he's got nothing to win either, so going this quick is a bit,
I'm surprised he's still pushing as hard as he is. I mean, he is... Like I say, he really is... He's making it clear. This is his race.
I mean, I thought he made it clear enough, to be fair.
Yeah, that was...
I understand why he's driving so fast, he doesn't need to.
Well, now he kind of does. I mean, well, I guess not. Run's still 16 seconds behind.
I mean, he could stick it in the wall and then this car's completely dead and then he gets it, you know, out. Unlikely, but a risk. Even if he slows down, he's still faster than Run.
Looking elsewhere, though, we gotta find, I'll try to catch him. Uh-oh. There we go. We'll try to catch Tomas crossing the line here, but we actually have a late in the race battle here in the GT2s for 4th place. Duct Tape has crawled his way back up and is now right behind Dennis.
Yeah, it's not been Duct Tape's best race. I think the luck's been against him, but he's worked his way back up.
Yeah, it's been impressive. And he's going to be pushing hard now to see if he can get a late race position here on a very damaged Dennis. I really want to see if we can get Tomas crossing the finish line now. Look. Sorry, Tomas. We missed you, man. This is, unfortunately, this takes precedence, but congratulations to Tomas for winning the DP Championship in GTE this season.
That's just classic you missing it, eh?
As soon as I clicked away, you know.
Missing the moment.
I really wanted to catch it. I really did, but this is way closer than I thought we would see anything late in the race like this. But again, congrats to Tomas. Well-deserved victory. Hard fought. Rune, better luck next year. Oh, oh. 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 But we've seen a lot of passes in that section this race. Well done. I think, was Duct Tape the one that did that before too? Or was that someone else? I can't remember if it was him or if it was Turban Chen.
I can't remember.
But that was another. It was a very nice pass. I don't know if Dennis... I don't know if it's a pace issue or if it's a car damage issue, because his car is in pretty rough shape. It could have been either of the two. And did MK run out of gas?
I called it. I knew someone would.
I think he did. So maybe there was... There might have been some weird thing with the prototypes with how much fuel they could take, and I think if they...
Yeah.
Because we saw both Rune and Tomas have to pit late, which was presumably just a fuel pit. Oh, Dennis. Oh. Holds on. And now we see MK putt-putting along here. I have to assume... Uh-oh. Did Dennis lose it? He held on. But while we're at it, I guess it's also time to congratulate Saki for winning the GT2 championship over Duct Tape. It was tied going into this race, and he just did
what he needed to do.
Yeah, he had a pretty consistent run. No big accidents that we saw. Duct Tape, I think, kind of got in trouble early, and that forced him to pit and have to repair some damage. And I think the gap was just insurmountable from there. Just way too much for him to try to make up, unfortunately, but fair play. It was still a good run by him down the stretch here to try to gain some of those positions back, but congrats to Saki. And once again, congrats to Adder, who quit the race, but is still nonetheless the Cup champion. But it was a pretty interesting season down the stretch here, with the exception of the Cup class. It was very tight. And really, I don't know if I could have picked a better track for an endurance race for it to all come down to. I mean, why not?
It was alright, yeah. Decent.
Why not just make it the most difficult one as the last race and let them duke it out here? I don't know who runs this league, but
yeah, they're alright.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
We see some shenanigans at the start-finish line with Archer apparently excited that it's over, I presume. Do we have anyone left on track? We have MK, who's still...
He's still rolling down.
And we have John Audi. We have Pisani still with Rolino. Okay. Pisani and Rolino.
How is MK still going?
That's what I was wondering, but he's going to take about 2 years to get down that straight at this rate.
He's persistent.
Yeah, he's not taking a DNF. He's getting across that line if he has to push that car himself. But yeah, Rolino, he was ahead of Pisani. I mean, Pisani was gaining on him, but he had that misstep after the straight where it looks like he just either missed his braking point or the car just got loose on him, and he kind of went across the infield into the wall. And from there, he just couldn't do it. We just saw Mustang overtake Nitrax. Now, we might see another car here with Nitrax that's kind of maybe running low on fuel.
I can confirm MK has finished.
He made it across the line.
He made it.
Congrats to MK, who took third, it looks like. Because I don't know what happened to Megadeth. But he's no longer here. Unless he just passed the line and just quit and is laying on the floor somewhere. So happy that it's finally done. But we see Mustang SVT holding it down for North America. Didn't come in last in this class. Did well in a car that's very underpowered, if we're going to call all things fair. And another car that looks like it's been through a war. A lot of these cars do. And he is across the line. And I think with that, that concludes our Season 7 GTE series. Yeah, that's everyone. But it was a good year, good season. Next season will be even more interesting to see which cars come out with the Porsche 919 now in the ACRL roster. So we'll see if Rune can take the title from Tomas next season.
No.
Petrol says no.
No.
Will anyone be able... Well, I guess there won't be a Cup car next season. At least the way it's looking.
I would like to see Thomas in the Cayman though, that'd be fun. Come join us.
Yes,
Please.
the Cayman series. Tuesday nights. Well,
You know you want to.
Tuesday nights for you guys. Yeah. Check out r/ACRL to sign up and join. There's still one GT3 race next Sunday at Monza. If you want to jump in and race on that, you don't have to wait until a new season starts. Other than that, it's just waiting for Season 7, which is likely to be in February at some point. It should be a good one. But normally we would do post-race interviews, but after sitting here for 2 hours, I can't be asked to do it. We have Rune in chat. Don't forget the Cayman. Don't worry. We didn't forget.
No. Are you gonna are you around to stream that or not?
What's that?
You around to stream the Cayman, or was that bad time for you?
I'm at work.
I thought so. God damn it.
And I would rather not lose my job, unless you guys are going to pay me to stream. But I don't see that happening. But, alright guys, thanks for tuning in. This is the end of GTE for Season 6. We'll see you later.
See ya.